I've missed you. I'm sure you've just missed school a whole ton in the last couple of weeks or so. Um, so I'm coming to you live right now. Well, this is going to be pre-recorded. That was a dumb statement to make. I apologize. If I had editing abilities, I would edit this out right now. But anyway, coming to you from the weekend easy chair in the third bedroom of the Carly household. But anyhow, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about what I was thinking for our different options related to the remote learning plan, just so you kind of know what to expect when you come back, in addition to any other coursework that you're going to have from your other courses. So let's get to it. First, I just want to go over a couple updates. I got to move myself out of the way here. First off, if you didn't get the reference in my earlier video about COVID-19 and Come On Eileen, there is a screenshot from the music video as well as the single cover right there. So check that out if you've never heard that song. It's a classic, an instant classic, and has also been rated as the #1 song to listen to while you're at work. Anywho, updates. So I got all your IAs submitted to the IB. If you want some specific feedback, I didn't read through them as much as I would have had this been like the initial grading. But I did read through them, and I can give you some general feedback. Also, if you want to know your predicted score that I put in, I can tell you that too, but take it with a grain of salt. It was where you were at that given point in time. Had we had another couple months of school, that could have potentially have changed. So West Ada School District has a phase 1 and a phase 2 of remote learning, and phase 1 starts on April 13th, but IB courses and CC courses have the go ahead to start phase 2 earlier, which basically just means that you can now have newer content a little bit earlier. I'm still going to accept makeup work. There's a couple of you that need to turn some things in, and I'm going to be asking you about that a little bit later. Otherwise, if you have makeup work that you want to turn in, you can still do that. I'm pretty flexible with that. So get any makeup work you owe me during the next 2 weeks. I have 3 planned topics, and we will spend about 2 weeks on each of them. Now, I need to remind you, if this hasn't been made clear to you yet, that your grade can only increase at this point. So do the assignments because you want to learn new things, and something that you feel like is enjoyable to you and that you want to know more about. Don't do it for the grade necessarily, but it will help your grade if you complete the assignment. So let's talk about how that's going to work. And then I also have that third alternative plan that I put on Teams today that might interest you. Oh, also, here's the survey results. Sorry about that. Thanks for doing that. I would also appreciate, again, I put that thing at the bottom, but not a lot of people gave me any, which maybe no news is good news. I don't know. But I would appreciate any feedback on my teaching, the course in general, that you feel like giving me in the next few weeks, especially as I go into teaching the juniors next year. I got some ideas about what I want to do, but if there's things you really liked or didn't like, or things about my personality that you feel like I should work on and get some help with, I'm happy to field those. But based on the survey results, this is how I would foresee the order of the topics. So for the first couple weeks, we would focus on civil rights movement and apartheid. That was overall choice number 3, but it's also the one that I have the most stuff ready for to go. So I would lead with that one. Then a lot of people want to know about post-1945 social movements, and this can be done holistically, where we pick a few and look at them, or we could kind of do them in a jigsaw manner where I can provide you resources for different ones, and then we can share our findings about different movements and things like that. So I said that would be weeks 3 and 4. And then the #1 most popular topic was actually foreign and domestic issues from 1980 to 2005. And I can get out. I like that because I feel like in general survey history courses, the recent past is what usually gets thrown away. It doesn't get a lot of time devoted to it. So I said weeks 5 through 7, we could do that one. So that's 1980 to 2005. So things like the end of the Cold War, Reagan policies, rise of conservatism, the 1990s economic boom, impeachment of Bill Clinton, war on terror, obviously, Barack Obama's election, the Great Recession. So a variety of different things that you can put in there. Actually, Barack Obama and the Great Recession would be after 2005, but I think we can squeeze it in there too. But anyway, But then I kind of had this idea after doing the IB meeting today about how can we use historical methodology to learn about something that's going on right now and better understand it. So that's where my COVID-19 pandemic project kind of thing comes in. So we'll get to that in just right now. So this is how it works. If we follow my original plan, which is let's do these 3 topics, I kind of made 2 pathways because I do recognize that some of you, these 3 topics were not maybe your like top choices. But overall, that's what a lot of people want to learn about. It was within their top 3. But I'm going to have like a second pathway, as you can see on the right there, if you don't want to do kind of the initial 3 topics. So here's how I would see pathway 1 working, which is where we go by those 3 topics that I selected earlier based on your feedback. So each Monday, I was just planning on posting a new topic on Teams with 1 to 2 big questions for investigation. So things like, did the African American civil rights movement truly end segregation in the United States or create equality in the United States or something like that? Or is it justified to consider Martin Luther King the most influential leader of the civil rights movement? Things like that. So just big general questions like we've thought about all year. So they're going to be accompanied by different sources. So I'll have some primary sources, some secondary sources, some videos. I'll create some slideshows of me narrating of different documentaries and video clips depending on the topic. And the thing about this is like you can do as much of it as you want to, or you can, you need to do, there's like a minimum bare threshold for you to be able to answer those questions and contribute to the discussion. But really, like if you feel like you're overloaded a little bit with other things and this topic for this couple weeks isn't your jam, like do a few of the readings, watch one of the videos, and then that's fine. You don't need to do every single thing, and my goal here is not to destroy you while you're at home. So anyway, so you can receive an assignment score that will boost your grade by doing one of the following. So option 1 is you come to an online discussion that I was currently planning to do, but this can be flexible. Currently planning to do each Tuesday, so the following Tuesday. So that gives you a little bit over a week to do the assigned, readings, tasks, viewings, research, things like that. And we discuss the findings in relation to the questions. If you come to that, be it a 30-minute conversation, 45 minutes, hour, whatever. It's during the office hours, 1 p.m. to 2:30. So we're welcome to do, I'll block off Tuesday for that. So we'll talk about that. You do a short little reflection, you get your assignment points. The other option is if you don't want to engage with discussion right now, you can also answer the big questions using evidence from your research and the sources, and those will be due at the same time, 1:00 p.m. each Tuesday. So you can do the discussion part or you can do the written reflection answer part of it as well. Same points, and I'll put it in the grade book as your grade. Now, pathway 2, if you aren't interested in those topics, or you're interested maybe like one of them, but you're gonna you want to hold off on a couple of them, but you still would like to be doing something, you can choose to conduct your own like kind of investigation. Don't think of it as an IA. We're not going to do like lit review and reflection and all that, but you do your own investigation on an inquiry of your choosing. So there's a little bit of a process to it, and we're going to kind of be making it up a little bit as we go. So there's going to be something with you doing like a written proposal, including your topic and what your essential question is going to be and what ideas you would have for sourcing. And then we would chat maybe a little bit about what you want your final project to look like. Are you going to write me a paper? Are you going to make like a informational brochure or a video documentary or something like that? So we'll talk about that, and then we would establish certain checkpoints. So what do you foresee this being, and how long do you see it going on for? So do you think it's going to be something that you would spend the whole 6 weeks doing? And if so, then it's got to be something that is representative of that amount of time. Or is this something like for the first couple topics, I'm going to take like 3 or 4 weeks and kind of do this, and then I'll join back up at the end. Okay, so that's one thing for that. So you have your choice. I just need to know what you want to do, and you could do both. I don't want you. It's the end of your senior year. I know y'all really got a raw deal with everything that's going on, and I apologize for that from the bottom of my heart. I wish it could be different, but I don't want you to overload yourself. I want you to do things that you want to do because you want to learn about them and engage in class and things like that. So do as much or as little as you want to, or that you feel you're able to do at this time. So that brings me to my last point, which is the other thing we can do if people are interested. And please go to Teams and look at that post and give me some feedback on it, because I want to know how many people are interested in doing this. Because if there's a lot of people that want to do it, then we'll do it. But it's going to require a little bit of like me adjusting on the fly, which I'm happy to do. I'm willing to go through pain for your success, so I can do that. But we could also do like an inquiry into the COVID-19 pandemic, because like the whole methodology of history in my mind, or at least one of them, is to understand the way things are, why they are the way they are now. So we could do an inquiry into the COVID-19 pandemic and its historical context and look at various time periods or situations or aspects of this thing that we're going through right now, and look at how we can draw lessons from history, and look at whether or not we're going through a loop or a time bang or a loop spiral, or what or a timeline, as Derek would like to see. So this is how I would kind of foresee that going. It'd be an effort on the part of anyone who's interested. We would need to develop kind of these four things. When I think of like doing a research project or an IA or something, I usually think in these terms. So what would our general research question be, like our overarching essential question? What kind of supporting questions will we need to break down to do that? How are we going to communicate to each other what our findings are? How are we going to break this up? Is everybody going to do everything? Are we going to have it be kind of like piecemeal? And then some type of end product or goal. And this could be individual, this could be group effort projects, something like that. And then we would likely just have like a weekly check-in discussion on the topic, what we're finding out. Maybe some certain people want to look in the economic aspects of this. Maybe some people are really interested in how our political system handles these kinds of crises. Maybe some people are interested in the general biology. Maybe there's a lot of misinformation if you look on social media about like what's happening, and there's a lot where like people hear one thing and then hear things from the ground level and they're not really sure what's going on. So just kind of understanding those things and looking at, how do we evaluate sources on that kind of stuff. So something like that. And again, this is going to take some adjusting on the fly, and this is really just going to be a collaborative effort probably on something that you want to work on to better understand this and use history as kind of like a culminating IB experience in lieu of exams, I guess. So let me know what you think about that. So I got to have something ready to go by probably Tuesday at the latest, just so you know what you're doing. But I'd like you to take a look at this, give me some feedback, hit up that Teams post, check out Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen, maybe learn it on the violin or conga drums, something like that. So I'll leave you there. Thank you for your time and your flexibility. I appreciate the work that you've done all throughout the year and that you continue to do in terms of being interested in continuing your educational experience. So thank you. I hope this video finds you all well. If you need anything other than toilet paper, because I can't find any, let me know and we'll work out something, okay? All right, everybody, take care, peace, and for Megan's sake, think of interesting things that you find interesting.